Hello everyone, and welcome to the third Gearify tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to talk about designing gears using DXF files. DXFs are pretty much the standard for most engineering design CAD software. So I actually get a lot of emails about people having problems with DXFs, not understanding what the rules are, so I thought it'd be good to post a video tutorial on this. Alright, so first of all I'm going to recommend this software called DraftSite. This is not my software, but this is something that's freely available online. You can see the URL up there, and you can just Google DraftSite. Pretty cool software. Like I said, it's free, pretty useful to get to know if you don't already own AutoCAD or other expensive software. So I'm going to open up DraftSite here. Let's see if I have anything. Alright, and I'm going to start off by drawing a simple curve. Now when you're drawing a curve, you can use splines, you can use regular lines, polylines, circles, arcs, ellipses, pretty much everything. And you can string them together. Doesn't matter if everything's perfectly connected. Gearify will assume that close together elements are connected. For example, if I draw a line here and here, and I continue the line, say from here, whoops, continue the line from here, and so on. Gearify will just assume that these are connected because they're so close together. So you don't have to worry about them being perfectly connected, but you should be, pretty close to get how you want it to be. So, alright, I'm not going to use lines, I'm going to use a nice spline curve. Alright, so I'll keep it fairly simple. I'll draw something that's kind of ellipse-like, I guess. There we go, something kind of weird. Alright, now an important fact is that I drew the curve around the origin, right around this little XY coordinate system. I don't know if you can see down here, these are the coordinates of where my mouse is hovering over, and right here is about where 0, 0 is. That needs to be inside the curve. I get a lot of emails from people who draw their base curve outside of the origin, so they'll have something like, let's see, how do I move this? There we go. Something like this. And then they don't understand why it doesn't work, and it's because the origin needs to be inside your curve. In fact, this tells Gearify where the center of rotation for the gear will be. So this gear is going to rotate right around this spot right here. Okay? So I'm going to save. And this is another important fact. So I don't want to save it as a DWG, I want to save it as a DXF. Now I have the option of a variety of DXF file formats, and basically anything that is 2000 or above is fine. So like 2010, 2007, 2002, whatever. But the R12, R13, R14, those are too old. These file formats are too old. Those are about 20 years old or so. And Gearify only supports year 2000 and later. The other thing is you want ASCII DXF. Binary DXF will not work. I think I need to update the user manual to state this, but it has to be ASCII DXF and must be year 2000 or later. So I'm going to choose ASCII 2010 DXF. I'll just call this Tutorial 3 Base Curve. Save it in my documents. Okay, so open up Gearify. Over here on the DXF tab in the base curve design section, click the DXF button, navigate to our gear, tutorial 3 base curve, and so on. And hey, there we go. We have our gear just as we designed it. And if we click create gear, you'll get, there we are. And the center of rotation is right where we expected it to be. So, okay. All right, so that was easy. But to make things slightly more interesting, I'm going to show you that you can upload, in addition to the base curve shape, a DXF file for the tooth outline. So here it was automatically calculated. But you can upload your own tooth outline. I'll show you how to do that in one sec. One thing I forgot to mention. A lot of people send me emails where they have a DXF file where they have some other stuff drawn inside of it. Maybe they have, something drawing some spokes inside the gear, or maybe they have a hole in the middle, or something, circle around the center of rotation. Things like that. You don't want this because this is going to confuse Gearify. You just want a single closed curve to show the outline of your gear, and that's all. You don't want additional lines or other things floating around inside that will just create interference that can screw things up. So just a single closed curve around the origin and nothing else. And again, make sure that it's an ASCII DXF and that the version is year 2000 or later. So what I was just saying about what I'm going to show you next is I'm going to show you, rather than having the automatic tooth calculation, using the manual where you can upload your own tooth outline. And all that is another curve that roughly follows the base curve but gives kind of a tooth shape. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a spline, and I'm just going to make my way around the curve here. So I'm just drawing a nice spline curve that's just kind of weaving in and out of the base curve. And sorry, this is a little time consuming, but I'll be done in just a minute. Bear with me here. Looks kind of like a dinosaur now. Stegosaurus maybe. Getting kind of cool. As you can see, this is pretty rough and arbitrary. You could take your time and make it very artistic looking, or you can make it really random and sort of chaotic like I'm doing. That's totally the point of Gearify, that you can design things pretty much however you want them. Close this spline, make it look right. Okay. Alright, so we got a kind of sloppy, but still fairly suitable tooth outline. So now I'm going to select the base curve and delete it, so I just have the tooth outline in this file. Save as, call this tutorial 3 tooth outline. Again, I will save it as a 2010 ASCII DXF. Alright. So I already have here the DXF base curve. So now at the bottom, again, we're still in the design tab all the way at the left. At the bottom we have the tooth outline section, and I'm going to click on Import Full Tooth Outline. Browse on the DXF by the DXF label. Tutorial 3 Tooth Outline. Alright. There's our outline. Now, what I'm going to do is click on, up here on the base curve section, click on the DXF tab again. Alright, so now it's showing me the DXF base curve along with the tooth outline. Now the reason I had to click it is because when you upload it initially, it just shows you what you uploaded. But when you go to these individual tabs, it shows you the tooth outline plus whatever base curve you're working with. So I could use the tooth outline just uploaded and specify a radius function here if I wanted, like that. They don't match up very well, but you get the idea. You can combine the tooth outline with any of the other design methods. Oh, here's a useful one. I could draw in using the draw design method. I could draw in the base curve if I wanted. That could also happen. Well, we have a DXF where it's drawn. Alright, so we have uploaded the base curve in DXF. We've uploaded the tooth outline in DXF. So I'm going to click calculate gear. Alright, I'll stick with the standard rotation ratio, 1:1, and I will create our gear. And there it goes. We have a pretty kind of sloppy, arbitrary looking gear, but as you can see, looks like it would function pretty well. And there you have it. So again, just remember, when you're uploading a DXF, you have to use a single closed curve, not multiple curves that have, you know, all kinds of random stuff inside it. You know, just a nice closed curve. Remember, when I say single closed curve, you can, you know, break up the curve into multiple pieces, but I just don't mean, you know, multiple closed curves inside the same drawing. There should be some semblance of a single path that is followed that describes the outline of the gear. The outline has to go around the origin, because your origin is where the center of rotation is. Your DXF version has to be year 2000 or later, and it has to be ASCII. So remember those things. And again, you can combine the base curve design DXF with the full tooth outline DXF, and you can design a complete tooth outline yourself, however you want. Alright, before I sign off, I just want to say very happy and excited about the number of downloads I've been getting and all the positive feedback I've received about the software. Please do not hesitate to send me your questions, comments, criticisms, suggestions, you know, whatever you can give me. Everything is helpful. And very grateful for all of you for using the software, and I'm really happy that you're all enjoying it. So stick with me, it's only going to get better. And thank you for watching. So stay tuned for more tutorials soon.